Well, focusing on those tariffs today, the White House announced that President Trump is granting a 1-month exemption for U.S. automakers. The 25% tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico were expected to hit the auto industry very hard because a lot of vehicle parts are imported from those countries to make cars here in the U.S. The delay comes after the Trump administration spoke with the big three U.S. auto dealers. The Dow rebounded and is now up more than 500 points on that news. Meanwhile, America's closest neighbors are responding to those tariffs. Mexico's president says that her nation may shift trade alliances if necessary. She and President Trump are set to have a phone call tomorrow. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has already announced 25% counter tariffs. He and Trump are set to speak later today. Chinese leaders also hitting back, Beijing announcing additional tariffs of up to 15% on a wide array of American farm imports, including chicken and beef. Now, consumers here in California are bracing for any financial impact. According to LendingTree, the state gets nearly half of its imports from Mexico, Canada, and China. So we wanted to dive a little bit deeper into this study and how tariffs could actually impact us. Joining us now, Chief Consumer Finance Analyst Matt Schulz. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about that report. California actually ranking 25th among the states most vulnerable to tariffs. So we're right in the middle. Does that mean we could see a lesser impact than other states?
It's certainly possible. It's really hard to predict, though, because while California doesn't get as big of a percentage of their imports from Canada, China, and Mexico, the sheer dollar volume of the imports that they get from those three countries is the second biggest in the nation behind Texas. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out. And the best thing that people can really do is do what they can to prepare for prices to rise.
Okay, so here in California, what does that mean? What kind of prices are we going to see rising?
Well, it literally could be most anything. I mean, the biggest thing that we see in terms of imports into California from these countries are things like smartphones and computer accessories and that sort of thing. But the tariffs are so sweeping that it could literally be anything.
Now, we're also hearing that the tariffs themselves could be short-lived, according to a lot of Republicans. And, of course, the president has some negotiations scheduled for today with the leaders of some of these countries. If it is short-lived, I mean, would that greatly reduce the impact that we would have, or would we still see, this sort of chain reaction?
Yeah, it certainly could. I mean, obviously, having these tariffs not last as long would be a positive, but in the short term, it's still wise for consumers to assume that prices are going to go up, because we've even seen them in the last few weeks beginning to rise in a lot of different ways. So the best thing that people can do basically is hoping for the best and preparing for the worst.
All right, Matt Schulz, Chief Consumer Finance Analyst with LendingTree. We appreciate the results of that study. And, of course, a lot of it, remains to be seen. We'll be following up with you.